Welcome back. It's official. I just polished off the rest of my Williamsburg 25 by 38 60-pound text. I'm going to be starting into my final 4 pallets, and then it's vacation time for me, I guess. I was lucky enough to find some 65-pound cover, so I just bought what they had left. I'm going to cut that down for a couple jobs here, and well, it's kind of surreal that there's no 60-pound anywhere for sale. I'm still wrapping my head around this. You know, on the bright side, if I run out of paper, I'll finally have time to do some maintenance that I've been pushing off, so it's kind of good timing after the busy season. It should slow down for me. I'm kind of excited to see how this stuff runs. I've never bought, what is it, Eagle? From American Eagle Paper Mills in Pennsylvania. It should run fine. I've never really had any problems running anything through my machines. So this is 25 by 38, 60-pound uncoated text, long grain. I'm going to be cutting this down to, I need 12 by 18 long grain as well, so I'll get 4 out. Looks nice so far. And I'll be using my trusty program here, 1218. Well, sheet side really doesn't matter because it's just going to go 18, 24, 12, 18, 24, 12 again and again until I have as much paper as I want. Past few days I've been running that. That's 1,000 5.5 by 8.5 books. Cleaned me out. Well, I'm just gonna let that there because I'm gonna need more paper cut down in the very near future. But let's get this started. I did notice already that paper feels different than the paper that I typically use. It almost feels softer. I like it. We'll see what it prints like. Now when you're switching between brands, I'm careful to completely exhaust my paper supply so that there's not a book that has half of it just slightly bluer or whiter than the other half. You can always tell the difference between brands. So I make sure I had a little bit of paper left over and I just cut that down for 8.5 by 11 to use that up elsewhere. But now since I all have just the American Eagle stuff in, this is a reprint. Let's do a proof. And then once the proof gets approved, I need 75. You know, side by side here, you can hardly tell the difference. This is Williamsburg, and this is American Eagle. Very slight difference, but pretty much exactly the same. While that prints, I'm going to start running this 65-pound cover. Those are cards with variable information, so I have the documents sent back here to the Fiery. Okay, got those done. They look good. I need to cut those down and perf them. And this mailing has 3 other inserts. But then the tricky thing is I have 6 of these mailings to do because of member and non-member and things like that. So it's going to take me a little while to get this job done. Well, I spent most of my day at my desk. As this stuff was running, I had to pre-sort all these mailing lists, and most of them are gone. It's been really good. Was it earlier this year? I mean, well, last year, that I did the video on the VDP that's built into the Fiery. That's been really handy. Because last year when I did this job, I didn't have that, and I had to print my forms, and then I ran them through a second time to print the addresses on it. But with that built-in VDP on the Fiery RIP, man, that is nice. I've used that many times since I made that video. But basically what I'm doing right now, I'm thanking myself for learning how to do that and making the video, because now it's making my life easier. The largest mailing list is printing right now. That's the last one. There's maybe close to 7,000 pieces on there. And then I have all my other mailing lists here. I've got a card, an insert, tray tags, the scan sheet. Then I just need to cut those, perf them, fold them, insert, and then next week sometime I'll take them to the post office. So one thing I've been doing to try and stretch my 60-pound paper a little bit further is I started buying copy paper, because there's a decent amount of just your 20-pound 8.5 by 11 for sale, and I usually cut down large sheets for our printer and copier out here in the office, but I figure I'll get a couple cases of this to try and stretch it just a little bit further. So I think about paper a lot. I don't know, probably every day. I think about paper every day. And every few days I hop on my paper supplier's website, which is Linden Meyer Monroe. They do a decent amount in the Northeast United States, and just see if inventories have changed at all. Because if something comes available, I'll be honest, I'm gonna jump on it and I'm gonna buy a bunch of it. I don't know, I think I might be part of the problem then, but I'm sure many other people like you guys out there that are printers, as soon as something comes back in and available, you buy a bunch of it because you don't know when the next time that's gonna be available to us. That's why I think the shortage is gonna be longer than we want, because if, I don't know, 10 truckloads of 60-pound text becomes available, it's going to get sold out in probably a matter of weeks. And it just blows my mind, because then all weights too, 60 pound, 70 pound, 80 pound, it's all gone. Let me show you. So I'm here on my website for my paper supplier, uncoated paper. So Soperset is what I typically use, and 60 pound, and over here it's all sold out, it's all gone, nothing is available. That's just crazy, that's unheard of. So then let's try a different brand. Williamsburg, 60 pound text, all sold out. I mean, there is usually at least something in stock. Maybe not the parent sheet size you want, but it's all gone. This American Eagle that I just started cutting down today, all sold out. That's 50 pound and 70 pound. There's 60 pound, all sold out. You know, there really is hardly anything available. And last week, I was just going through here, and the stuff that was in stock, where there was a couple cases left of things, I just bought it. I don't need it, but I just bought it. I mean, I might as well have it here and locked in than not available at all. It's just, my mind is blown right now. This is just crazy. I mean, the only thing that is somewhat available is your copy paper, meaning just regular office paper. Oh, that's all sold out. And that's wild, because even like this report stuff, typically there's like 1 million sheets in stock. Nothing. It's wild. I mean, That's going to be bad for paper suppliers because they got nothing to sell here for months. I think we'll survive though, but it's going to be a little weird. Really makes me wonder. I guarantee you there's big guys out there, big printing companies, multi-million-dollar companies that bought up warehouses of paper, you know, a few months ago when they foresee this coming, and that probably amplified the problem. But still, it's just weird that like all weights of paper are gone. You would think that like, oh, maybe a certain paper, text weight, cover weight, coded, uncoded, got hit. All of it. It's just why I'm really interested to hear comments of what else is going on in people's paper supply situation. It's fascinating, and it's a little weird because I should be horrified. If I can't have paper, I'm not going to have a business. But I mean, it's just interesting to see this is happening. Wild. Okay, so there we have one. Frontier. I can get 8.5 by 11, 20 pound. There's 11 million sheets in stock. So there's tons of that stuff. And that's the way it is. And there's a few brands of 8.5 by 11 lightweight copy paper. So the reality is if I do actually run out of paper, I still will be able to print on paper. It's just not going to be what the customer wants. And then it'll just be up to them to either, well, they're going to wait till paper becomes available, or they print it on this, or they find another printer that somehow miraculously has some paper sitting on their warehouse, which is fine. But it's going to be interesting to see what runs out first, and how we navigate this type of a challenge. You want some Spring Hill, different colors? Absolutely nothing. It's all sold out. Well, I stand corrected. You can get 100 sheets of goldenrod or 690 sheets of canary. I could do this all day. This is very entertaining. I would ballpark it that sometime in February I'm going to run out of 60-pound text. We'll see what happens between now and then. Hopefully something becomes available. I have a CDL. If anybody knows where there's some 60-pound for sale, preferably 25 by 38, let me know. Well, I hope you found my rambling and ranting about paper entertaining or enlightening, who knows. But I mean, I still have so many questions, like with supply and demand. When paper comes available, is there going to be a time where there's then too much paper? How are the paper prices going to change in the next year? I'm assuming because there's a huge demand and a low supply, we're going to see increased paper prices, but is that going to in turn reverse later in the year when there's tons of paper available and then nobody needs it? What are the long-term effects of paper not being available? I mean, I don't think it's the type of a product that people are going to die because paper's not available, but certainly some people are going to be laid off or lose their jobs, and that's not good. Is there going to be a demise of paper distributors, or maybe paper mills are going to sell directly to printers more often now? Or are printers like me going to try and buy a year's supply worth of paper at a time? It's going to be real handy to have a warehouse now. Whoever has a warehouse space is really going to benefit from scooping up paper when it comes available. So, man, my mind just keeps running. It's crazy. Well, thanks for watching, and thanks for commenting. We'll see you on the next one.